get you an update on the markets. Now the JSE facing mixed global markets this morning with stocks in mainland China rebounding after an extended break for the Lunar New Year holiday. Eskom's suspension of load shedding on the home front. This was on Sunday. It served as some positive news for the JSE, while domestic focus this week will be on the State of the Nation address on Thursday. Zwelakhe Mnguni is Chief Investment Officer at Benguela Global Fund Managers, joining us now to talk us through how the markets are performing this morning. Mnguni, thanks for your time. Give us a sense then of how the JSE has opened.
Thanks, Tolly. The JSE has opened relatively stable. I mean, we're marginally up, and largely that is largely due to the resource sector. I think they up almost 0.5%. And I think the big drivers there that we saw is that the rand is a little weaker, and I think gold is slightly stronger, and platinum a little weaker. So a combination of those two factors has supported the resources sector. But in general, I mean, our market's still relatively stable. We haven't moved by much. Yeah. I think if you compare that to the international markets, there's certainly been a lot of pressure in international markets. And I think, as you quite correctly pointed out, Shanghai has opened a bit stronger today, up 2%. But the rest of the Asian markets are also under pressure.
Yeah, let's talk commodities. Oil prices reaching over $92 a barrel. It's the highest in more than 7 years. What is driving these moves?
Yeah, there's a number of factors that are affecting oil at the moment. One is the geopolitical tensions that we are seeing in between Ukraine and Russia. I think that's one of the big issues. I think the second issue is that we are seeing temperatures plummeting in the U.S. and particularly in Texas, where the biggest crude production base is the Permian Basin. So there is an expectation that there could be production outages in the U.S. and therefore that could put pressure on the supply side. But there's also quite a bit of reluctance in the OPEC plus Russia, where they've been quite reluctant to raise output quite meaningfully. I think they've limited it to about 400,000 barrels per day increase. So I think a combination of those factors has been what's driving the price up. But if you look a little longer term, it does look like the futures are suggesting that the price will come down. So we're going over a hump and then we'll go down in what is called a backwardation trend.
Yeah, let's talk company news, Mnguni. Telecoms establishing, or should I say, publishing a trading update for the quarter which ended on the 31st of December 2021. How did they perform?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the group revenue, it certainly was underwhelming, so it was about down 2%. But I think the shining star that has been for quite some time now has been the mobile business. So the mobile business saw revenues grow by 5%, and the fixed line and the IT business, so the old BCX, actually remained under pressure for some time. But management was able to control costs, and they delivered a marginal decline in EBITDA. Other than that, I think the other highlights, I mean, probably to talk about the mobile business continues to grow on the prepaid basis. They've had 12% increase in prepaid customers, and they also had a 10% increase in total customers. So if one looks also on the traffic, the data traffic was up 8%. So they seem to be doing very well on the mobile front, but the fixed line business continues to be under pressure. They say that it is not declining at the same pace, so it was declining at double-digit rate, but it looks like that rate has slowed down. But still, there is a big decline in that business, continues to decline as people are switching more to mobile.
Yeah, let's conclude our conversation with this company. It's called Nutritional Holdings. It's facing delisting on the JSE, this after years of highs and lows. How are things likely to pan out?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if this company should have been listed in the first place. So they started as a business that was selling dry foods, and food supplements. So what then happens along the way, they change to become a cannabis producer and promising to produce the cannabis oil, and then they try to have a cannabis cryptocurrency. I mean, I think the bottom line is this is a company that didn't have much of a strategy. It was a company that came to the market to raise capital and probably take advantage of the investors' eagerness to get their hands on some stocks. So this business has been suspended on the JSE for some time for failing to produce their 2020 annual report and financial results. So they've been struggling through that. It looks like they'll actually be delisted at the end of probably in the next month or so. They'll probably be delisted. But it's a company that didn't have to be on the JSE. I don't think, the net asset value of 2 cents, I don't know. There is no strategy. There is no clarity of what they are trying to do. It seems like they were just hopping onto everything that could potentially make them a viable business, and I think it's quite disappointing.
Sure. All right. We'll continue to watch developments around this company then. That's Zwelakhe Mnguni, Chief Investment Officer at Benguela Global Fund Managers. Thank you very much for that.